Alright, so first and foremost, I'm give all praises and glory to Yahweh, but Shemi Al Shah, but Shalom Papa Dash, and the honors to the apostles of GMS and Ruel, and shalom to the faithful men that's always continually doing the work of the Lord. So now, Lord willing, I just want to just make this video because this was just random to me. I was watching this war movie. It's like something that happened in Ukraine. And real quick, this is a really good movie. They what about to say? Salakia. But yeah, this is a very good movie. If Jake into war movies, it's like I think it's, very realistic. You know what I mean? Kind of like the movie Warfare. Like it wasn't all that Hollywood bullshit and nigga with the dual pistols and one man army. Ain't none of that bullshit. It's just like, it looked realistic as fuck. Like they went to like every aspect of war, to the footmen, to the artillery, to the planes, to the niggas and that be calling the shots. It's crazy. It's a good ass movie, and it was pretty brutal. It was pretty like, it showed the um the cruelty of war. Which I think all movies should show that, because I hate, just a side note, I hate a lot of these Hollywood movies. They try, like I said, try to over romanticize war and all that. Like I want to see some real shit. You know what I mean? Some, like, paint the picture right. You know what I'm saying? I think this movie did. But anyways, but it was just random too, because I'm watching, and at like the 40-minute mark, you know what I'm saying? It's the scene. They was in the building, and dude right here, you see his hands, and he was shooting at a dude that's across the house or whatever. They all was like close quarter combat, you know what I'm saying? And then this picture right here fell off, and he picked it back up and put it right there. And then well, I'm not gonna say no more because I don't wanna, just in case brothers wanna watch that movie. But as you see right here, you see this is an image, and there's a lot of Russian icons with so-called black people. A lot of saints. A lot of biblical characters. A lot of that. I don't know if brothers seen that video with Trump. I mean, not Trump. Vladimir Putin. Revealing a lot of the what's it called? The icons of the Israelites. Revealing them to be so-called black. And if you look this up, I don't know if Jake got this Google Lens. You can look up any picture and it'll pop up. Now this, because I don't know who this was exactly, but this is supposed to be Saint Nicholas or Nicolaus. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. But I'm gonna get into that a little bit too. That's where pretty much the idea of Santa Claus came from. You know what I mean? And this is, you could just look this shit up on Google. You know what I mean? Because some people look at this and like, man, that's ridiculous. But we gonna go into it a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I found that, I'm like, damn. So that just made me think, like, let me look up this Russian situation. So I start looking at other information. This is realhistorywww.com. And this dude, he goes, it's a lot. I'm not gonna read all this. But how Black Russia and the Balkans became Christian. All right. You know what I mean? This images, original Russians. You know what I'm saying? Then you got see what I'm saying? Got John the Evangelist. All right. I believe circa, as you see right here, it says circa 1400. It means, circa means around that time. So this was painted around the 1400s. You know what I'm saying? You got the prophet Nahum on the left. The righteous Anna of the most, see, they going off the most holy mother of God. Nah, it's just Mary, bro. But and the daughter, what was it? Youngest daughter of the priest Nathan from Bethlehem, descended from the tribe of Levi. She married Saint Joachim, who was a native of Galilee. But you see, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy too, because you look it up and they will say that a lot of this was due because because they said they use like eggs for the skin, to paint it or whatever the case, egg yolk or some shit. And they saying through time, you know, the pictures turned black or whatever, which is bullshit. Cause they said like the background is gold, and that's why that's made of something different. That's why it doesn't change. But if that was the case, then why haven't they look at their clothes? The clothes is colored too. It's red and the darker red and lighter red and all that. So why the hell didn't the clothes fucking change colors as well? You know. But you got so on and so forth. And this dude goes to Vladimir the Great and how he brought Christianity into and pretty much to Russia. So I think today they got like Orthodox Christians. You know what I'm saying? And this dude, I believe, was a Jake too, because if we're gonna go down a little bit, it's gonna show his two sons, which is clearly Israelites. You know what I'm saying? But and this man, he had 800 concubines and 7 wives. He kind of outdid King Solomon. But it says, day of holy baptism by the apostolic great Prince Vladimir, baptized as Bezil Sikra 990. So this is supposed to be, one of these dudes is supposed to be Vladimir. You know what I'm saying? And you see it, all right. And this is the white version of this man getting baptized. And this picture was made in 1890. This one is a lot older. All right. Go down. You got all these images here. These images here. I'm gonna read something down further. Who's this? Saint Theodore. All right. Here it is right here. Now, I believe this is it. No, this ain't it. Hold on. No, this ain't it. Let me keep going. You know what I'm saying? But this shit going off. You bound down to the mother of God. Like, nah. Yeah, let me read this real quick. Saint Nicholas. All right, the one picture that picture was. Saint Nicholas, 15 March 270 through 6 December 348 4343, was a black Greek born in Asia Minor, Greek Anatolia, in the Eastern Roman Empire to a Greek family in the city of Patarea, which is a port of the Mediterranean Sea in present-day Turkey. He lived in Myra, Lycia, modern-day Darmer, Turkey. All right. Nicholas eventually became Bishop of Myra when he was reputation for secret gift giving, such as putting coins in the shoes of those who let them out for him, a practice celebrated on his feast day, St. Nicholas Day, which is the 6th of December, Gregorian calendar, and thus became the motto for Santa Claus, whose modern name comes from Dutch Sinterklaas, itself from a series of inclusions and corruptions of the translation of Saint Nicholas. All right, and this is a picture right here of him right here. You know what I'm saying? Clearly a Jake. And of course, his, Santa Claus, all that bullshit. We already know the history of that, but it's another image that I guess they was stealing his body or moving it or some shit. All right. Then you got some Mo, you know what I'm saying? St. Matthew, Michael. All right. Here it is right here. Now I did this. Boris and Gilib, the first saints canonized in the Kievan, Russia, 11th century. Now, I don't know if Jake can do this. If you know about this, you hold down a picture and it says search with Google Lens, and it will give you a breakdown of the picture. All right, this image is icon depicting Boaz and Gleb, the first saints canonized in Russia. They were the youngest sons of Prince Vladimir the Great of Kiev. Right, so the great sons of Prince Vladimir the Kiev. All right, which I believe that's the same one, because I think this, it's multiple fucking Voltum, whatever the hell that nigga name is. Let me see if this is the same one. Yep, United Slavic tribes consolidating power from modern-day Ukraine to the Baltic Sea, and most famously Christianized his realm in 988 by adopting Byzantine Orthodox. Let me see. So yeah, so that was that man right there, and this is his sons. You see, these so-called, dark-skinned men. Then you got was it Saint Nicholas exorcising a demon? You know, out of this little boy. You got Jake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Then you got this is the painting of Constantine the Great, Roman Emperor and Christian saint of the Orthodox Church. All right, let me see, 1656. You see, painting of Tsar Alex whatever, Russia. I believe Tsars are like kings, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. And then you got Empress Saint Hilaya. You know, somebody's mother. I think. Yeah, this is the mother of Constantine the Great. All right. Then you got Tsar Evan the Terrible, which his name actually means like formidable, like you put fear in his enemies. You know what I'm saying? 1530 to 1584. So on and so forth. You see, and then that's when so-called white people start coming in and all that good shit. But yeah, man, it's a little history. You know what I'm saying? Jake ruling. And let me see. I got one more thing. Oh yeah, matter of fact, let me get the scriptures. And we don't really need pictures and all that, but that's just confirm it. But you just look at the scriptures, because a lot of people like to argue with the color and all that. But I mean, it's in the scriptures. You feel me? So it's all throughout the scriptures. You can go on for days with this. Song of Solomon 1:5. I am black but comely. And what do they say today? That's like saying black is beautiful, because comely means beautiful. And Jake said that to this day. Black is beautiful. Where do you think we got that from? We've been saying that from thousands of years ago, man. All right. It says, "O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, and must I look up the tents of Kedar?" Let's let me see. What does the tents of Kedar look like? Okay, you see, I am black but lovely as the tents of Kedar. Look at, and I mean, you see the image. Refers to the dark goat hair dwellings of Kedar, a nomadic Arabian tribe descended from Ishmael, symbolizing a wild outside the city life, often using the Bible as a metaphor for hardship or being far from the Most High, but also representing enduring beauty. And um, Eventual inclusion of God's people. All right. The appearance. Their tent were woven from the coarse, dark hair of their goat herds, giving them a distinctive black color and a rugged, durable quality. All right. Oh, Bible symbolism and adorned beauty. In the Song of Solomon, the bride compares her sun-tanned, because she said she was. If I don't think I read that part, but it says we was putting in the sun, and then my skin got darker, pretty much. Her sun-tanned, so obviously not talking about white people. Dark skin to the black tints, yet calls herself lovely and comely, showing beauty beyond fair skin. Right. You see, so I mean, it's right there. You know, and that's all. It was all Israel. Really, that was all people. The only people that had, that had that skin color was Esau, Edom. All right, but everybody was even Asians, and you got today, you got Asians. They look fucking white, but with Mongoloid, and I don't want to say that word. They might fucking Down syndrome, pretty much, but they was originally dark. Even my dude, he he's Cambodian. I believe he had Jake though. Even I met his father, his brother, everything. His father is dark, you know, damn near the same color as me. And his two brothers, him and his brother that lives in Ohio. Everybody else, I think he got like a couple other brothers in Washington, whatever. Um, they look so called white skinned. But he even told me like if he really would stay out in the sun, whatever the case is, then he can get like dark as me type shit, you know. But let me see. I ain't get no what's that called? Um, Going to the skin color thing in a minute. Job 30 and 30, my skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. All right. All right. And then there's more and more. What's this? Real quick. I think Simon's son. Um, Not Simon. I'm tripping. What is his name? Let me see. What is his name? So like, give me 2 seconds. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Simeon. Let me see something real quick. If I remember correctly, I believe Simeon's son, one of his sons or something like that. His name means brown skin or something. Genesis 29. I believe so. Let me double check real quick. All right. Was it 39, 29? So lucky, I knew that was wrong. 29. Matter of fact, so like this one I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to look up his name, and then it will show me his sons. Then I just go from there. Oh, here you go. I think it's this one right here, Zohar. Yeah. Zohar. Tawny. All right, or of an orange brown or a yellowish brown color. All right. Let me see. See, if you got tawny skin, you see it says tawny, deep with pink. I can't even, it's just blurry. Undertones, I guess is what that says. All right, deep with pink undertones. That's tawny. You know what I'm saying? All right. There's another example. Ginger, tawny. See, you got the little light skin joint right here. You know what I'm saying? Amber and tan. So on and so forth. All right. And you see, you got that brown skin. Let me see. Yeah, people of Middle Eastern. Yeah, see. It says representing a sun-kissed earthly hue rather than just a temporary tan. Right. A blend of yellow, orange, and brown, creating a warm medium to dark shade. So yeah, so this is Simeon's, one of his sons, Zohar. That's what his name means. Tawny, which means brown, you know? But then, yeah, see, it got whiteness. That's some bullshit, bro. That doesn't make no fucking sense. You know, red is gray, tawny. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, you know, that's why you gotta, you know, chew the meat, spit out the bones. But anyways, one more thing I want to get into. All right, where's it at? Oh yeah. Oh, two more things, real quick. So Black Russian history involves early figures like Abram Hannibal, and which is funny too, because I know the brothers went into it too. Hannibal, that's another one that was described as a black man. I don't know much of that history, but you know, I heard he was a Jake too. You know what I'm saying? Hannibal, the one that was fighting the Romans, and I believe he was fucking them up for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like he was one of the most successful, if I'm not mistaken, against like fighting against Romans. All right, but it says great grandfather of poet Alexander Pushkin in Imperial Russia, a significant influx of African and African Americans drawn to Soviet anti-colonialism in the 20th century. Right, they still there, whatever the case is. All right, but this dude Alexander Pushkin, all right, you know what I'm saying? He pretty much made the Russian language. You know what I mean? Because I believe at that time, see, the black Russian poet that invented Russian, because at that time, you know, you can look it up yourself. Because I believe they say he came from like middle of Africa or something like that, or something. But or his grandfather, I believe. But what's I about to say? What about to say? Slovakia. That's my train of thought. But yeah, Russians, I guess, like the higher ups at that time, they were speaking French. You know what I'm saying? And then so he pretty much, you know, came up with the language. You know what I'm saying? He did other things too. You know what I'm saying? That like I believe he did a few other things. You know what I'm saying? Um, is his father was a military general of Africa origin. So yeah, man. You know, let's just show you real quick too. Jake was all up in there. You know what I'm saying? And then there was one more thing. I just don't know where. Hopefully I didn't I think I fucking yeah, I think I exited off. Cause I cannot. Yeah, I must have just type it in again real quick. All right, I asked, were religious images whitewashed? Yes, religious images have been whitewashed in two main ways. Literally covering art with white paint, especially during the Protestant Reformation to remove um, perceived idolatry, right, and metaphorically by depicting biblical um, figures like Yahushua with European features, pale skin, light eyes, to align with European cultures. A practice that solidified during the Renaissance and spread globally because that the daily wound was healed and Renaissance means rebirth. I remember I was watching a Russian show and they were saying Renaissance, and then it translated as what was it, um refresh or some shit like that. I forgot what it. I can't remember. I didn't watch it in a long time. But yeah. So what is in that? And that's a video in itself. So I'm gonna make a video on that too. I had that deal in my head for a long time, but I don't think I ever did it because during the Renaissance, you had a lot of people making art, like a lot of like famous banking families and people of power. They would paint them and their family in like biblical accounts. You know what I mean? So that's just them putting themselves in the Bible, and then you know what I'm saying. And there's other different, and even how we see hell. Like when you see the image of hell, which we know hell is not a place where you burn forever, but what these people see as hell and its torturous demons, all that, that image was made by a man. I believe his name started with M. Lil Will, I'm gonna make a video on it, but he's the one that painted that. So people today got the image of hell from an artist in Renaissance, proving that's when Esau pretty much came in power. So what he had to do, he had to like reshape everything. He had to take away the image of Jake and put the image of a so-called white man. So now people worship the so-called white man. Like, and when you think of something godly, which is who? Like the son of God. Who's more godly than him? You think of the son of God, you think of a white man with blue eyes. You can't think of a so-called black. Excuse me. When you think of a so-called black man, you think of a nigga that's gonna rob you and shoot you and kill you. Even people in Russia make fun of that dude. What's his name? Alexander, whatever his name was, because he got shot. He got killed. The nigga that made the Russian language, he got killed in the duel, and they mock him and say, well, he's like a gangster because he made poems, so they call him a rapper, and he got shot and killed. You know what I'm saying? But so you see, even what's the name, Martin Luther King, he even knew that. He even came out and said, hey, when you think of the word black, you think of darkness, death, so on and so forth. When you look at the word white, you think of pure and all these different things. So Esau, he knew what he was doing. He just covered, hey, gotta get it. He covered everything, man. Job 9 and 24, the classic. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away. They see no good. Right. So that's what he did. He covered the faces of the judges. Who was the judges? First and foremost, the Heavenly Father, His Son, the angels, and on down, the different brothers, and all throughout the scriptures. And that's why you see, man, you type in anybody, somebody random, Saint Matthew, Saint John, or Mary, Joseph, whoever, and guess who's gonna pop up? It's gonna be a so-called white person. You know what I'm saying? But it says, and now even today, when people look at so-called black people, when we say so-called black people was in Russia and Rome and different things like that, they look at you like you crazy, like what? You know what I mean? Because they think it's like propaganda. Because now they got like you see different shows, like you might see a princess movie, and then Now they would have a fucking so-called black person play, Princess Fiona or some shit, and they say, see, black people trying to, you know what I mean? So when you say something about Jake Rowling, it's like they were like, well, nah, y'all trying to be part, like, nah, like it was us, so-called white people and shit, but no, a lot of these different situations, it was Jake Rowling, you know what I'm saying? In Europe and Russia, all these different things, there's literally icons of them. You know what I mean? You can't run from that. It says, um, whitewashing representing a specific whatever the hell image of divinity, displacing or original, diverse portrayals, and often serving colonial or racial power structures. Groundbreaking Jewish conversations. What's that? You don't know. Might have to get into that. But it says Europeanization of Yahushai. European artists begin depicting Yahushai marrying biblical characters in their own likeness, pale skin, European features. As Christianity spread, making them reliable, but also aligning them with European ideals. Now that's just straight out of the scriptures of their own image. This is First Maccabee 5. Hold on, Salaki. First Maccabee 3:48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen have sought to paint the likeness of their images. They do that literally with actual images, paint white over it or destroy it or whatever. And then they also do it metaphorically. They just change everything. They change the way the Lord speak, the way his doctrine, everything. He changed everything. The image, the voice, the ideal, the what's it called? The the doctrine of what the Lord teach. He changed everything and put it to his own image. You know what I mean? Then he pushing now every nation can be saved, but still them so called, who's are chosen. You know what I'm saying? It goes on and on. But it says, let me see. Damn, bro. Let me see. There was something else I wanted to read, but I think I exited out, so now it's kind of different. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was something because I had it pulled up, and now that I looked it up again, I think it's kind of different. So, this might be it. Biblical figures originating in the Middle East, North Africa, West Asia were not white. This is a culture construct opposed over time, as noted by involved groundbreaking Jewish conversations. All right. Yeah. All right. That's pretty much it, man. That's the point. I am sorry though, because it's like I said, it's a little different. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, I guess that was it then. Salaki. My fault. I thought it was something else that I was gonna read. But yeah, that's pretty much the point. You know what I'm saying? I just, like I said, I was just watching that movie and that was just random. And that just made me look into, go into it a little bit deeper. And it's just like, man, history is vast, so a little willing I might go into more, I might read a little bit more and go into certain things, whatever the case is. But for now I'm just gonna end it there. A little willing, hopefully brothers was edified, you know, on the true color of the Lord. Because it does matter. It matters a lot. Because now we know that the Lord is for his people and only his people, you know, and the Lord's people need to know who he is, who they are. You know what I mean? Because everybody ain't the Lord's people. All right. So yeah, man. So hopefully with that, I was edifying, give our praise and glory to Yahweh Shemi Al Shah, Bashim Kakadash. That bounced it up. And real quick too, Salakia. Um, we didn't have a camp today because it was the weather. So this is like an indoor ministry type. You know what I mean? Each brother should be doing their video. So just a heads up. But all praise and glory to Yahweh Shemi Al Shah, Bashim Kakadash. That bounced the apostle GMS Rua. Trying to tell the faithful men to continue to do the work of the Lord. Down with say Shalom.